Okay, I think I'm back. Man, I hope this thing didn't mess up. I hate anytime there's an upgrade on a phone or any kind of device, it always ends up being like a downgrade for me. So, am I on? I don't know. Let's check the channel. And another thing too, I have OBS Streamlabs, but for some reason it's not working on my computer. It takes up my CPU. It goes up to like 100%, and I can't run any other programs, and it locks up. It's crazy. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with me because I hate wasting people's times. Let me ask you something because I want to read some comments here in the comment section, but and I think, let's see, somebody asked me about super chats. I think it's enabled now. I'm not sure. Let me look. Are super chats enabled? Can anybody check? I have no idea. I'm sitting at my computer now. It was dang hot outside. It's humid. I was sweating my Badinsky off. I don't know if it's oh, it is enabled. Okay, cool. I don't know if I have any moderators in the room. If somebody wants to be a moderator, send me an email. I usually don't do the moderator thing because to me, moderators kind of end up in censorship, and I don't really care what you guys say in this room. If it's negative or whatever, we can deal with it. But what I like to do is just kind of come at people from a logical perspective. And if you're giving somebody a hard time for no freaking reason, I kind of want to know why, and I want to create peace. I'm sort of a peacemaker in that way. But the reason I titled this video the way it is because people have an affinity for law enforcement and for the military. And I understand that. I totally get that. I understand why people are doing it. But what I don't, what I think should happen is people should think through this a little bit more. Like it's pretty brain dead to just go, blank check, support the troops, just support the troops. Well, what are you really saying when you're saying support the troops or support local law enforcement? What are you actually supporting when you're supporting local law enforcement? Because, like I said in my previous stream, um, if you're for government, you have to be willing to admit that you're for the initiation of unjust force, oftentimes unjust force on peaceful people who just they don't want to be messed with. They just want to be left alone. If somebody wants to smoke pot or shoot up or whatever they want to do, as long as they're not jeopardizing or harming you in any serious way or even a light way, just leave them alone. It's like the government has no business being in our business. That last video I uploaded, they're wanting to limit your use on the internet. They want to keep you from infinite scroll. Like if you want to spend your whole day just scrolling up on Facebook, reading stories, reading Facebook stories, Instagram stories, or whatever, you should be able to do that. And I don't want to say you should be allowed because allowed almost implies that somebody else has a greater authority over your life than you. Like when I talk to my audience, I don't believe I'm talking to a bunch of little kids. You don't need a parent. You definitely don't need a government parent. Yeah, Miss T says control freaks, and that's really what you are. When you stand on that podium of that debate stage, whether it's Democrat or Republican, you are literally saying by your presence, I want the ring of power. I want to be called the leader of the free world. I want to be the commander in chief of the U.S. Armed Forces. That's really what you're saying. I want to make the policies. I want to create the laws. I want to be in the driver's seat. I want to be in control. I want to be in this at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and I want to be the shot caller, is what you're saying. And I want you to go to the polling place, and I want you to make me the shot caller. I want you to consent to this to the chains of your own enslavement. So, okay, let me read a couple of if anybody has something to say about this. I think I ended the Philip Brailsford / Daniel Shaver thing, but what I wanted to say there was if you're for law enforcement, I understand that people who are for law enforcement wouldn't necessarily be for what happened to Daniel Shaver, although I'm not so sure because I've seen people do videos where they're actually on Philip Brailsford's side and all the other four thugs that were in that hallway of that La Quinta Inn. They say it's okay for that guy to have pulled that AR-15 trigger 5 times and just eliminate an individual from this earth because they didn't follow the commands in the way that they wanted the commands to be followed. That's That's evil. I mean, I don't even know if you were to write a script on what evil was and put an example, put a little asterisk and say, here's an example of that. Daniel Shaver would be a great case. Eric Gardner selling cigarettes on the street corner in New York and then they choke him out. Philando Castile is going for his to show the obey a lawful order to show his ID and boom, 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 boom. This guy just goes, he freaks out for no reason at all. Philando Castile already said that he's a concealed carry guy and he's got a firearm on board. And now his life is over. Simple as that. Murder committed on camera. Cop goes free. So let me. I know this is wonky, guys. I am so. Yeah, I got a YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff, but I am so non-techie. So I'm just gonna turn my phone around and I want you to listen to what Laura Ingraham says. This is a video that they just uploaded. Okay, they uploaded it yesterday. It's got 29,000 views, and the name of the video is "Have Democrats Turn into the Anti-Police Party." And even if you can't see it very well, it's really about what she and her panelists say. So check this out. If you can hear it.
Here now to respond is Mark Furman, former LAPD homicide detective and a Fox News contributor, and John Yoo.
Okay, can you guys hear that? Give me a thumbs up. I don't want to waste anybody's time here. Oh, it's buffering. Shoot. Let me know if you could hear that. At least hear it. I mean, even if you can't see it. Uh-oh, no thumbs up. It's breaking up. Thumbs up. It's lagging. Shoot, man. I have a fairly fast internet connection and okay. Pitiful. No, couldn't hear or see. Oh, okay. So it's unfrozen now. Okay, cool. Here, listen to this. I'm going to start it over, but listen to who these guys are. Listen to Laura Ingraham's question, and let's talk about it.
Here now to respond is Mark Furman, former LAPD homicide detective and a Fox News contributor, and John Yoo, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. Mark, this has always been a bit of a trouble spot for the Democrats as a party, but why are they increasingly turning I think their frustration and upset toward all law enforcement, not just a few bad apples, but to all of law enforcement?
Well, Laura, when you look at it, they're trying to attract that base, that 18 to 25-year-old base that is involved in all these movements, these anti-government, anti-establishment, anti-Republican, anti-Trump. They're trying.
Okay, so this guy actually makes it sound like being anti-government and anti-establishment is bad, and then he puts these people in the category of an 18 to 24 Democrat leftist base, because Fox is trying to appeal to their conservative base. They don't care about pleasing leftists. They don't care about pleasing Democrats. Their bread and butter comes from conservatism. And so you have to maintain the dog and pony narrative. You have to maintain the WWE style us versus them. And they literally say that. Like, I wish I pulled up Michael Moore's thing where he's talking about, begging Michelle Obama to be president, but it's an us and them thing. Democrats versus Republicans is us versus them. Democrats say us Democrats versus you Republicans. Republicans say us Republicans versus you Democrats. So it fits perfectly into the elite. And we talk about the elite. When I say elite, I'm talking about the people who are really in control here. I'm talking about the Zionist international banking cartel who controls this. The Amschel Rothschilds, I care not who makes the nation's laws as long as I can make the money. If I can make the money, I care not who makes its laws. These guys are the ones who are in control. These guys who says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. These guys. And I just want to clarify something right now before I go through this Ingram angle thing. I am not against any people group. I don't care if you're German, Austrian, American Indian. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me if you're Jew. Guys, not all Jews are Zionists. We do not have a Jewish problem in this world. We got a Zionist problem. You can be there are tons of Orthodox Jews who are carrying signs saying they are against Zionism. And guys, when I'm talking about Zionism, even Joe Biden says you don't need to be a Jew to be a Zionist. I'm a Zionist, Joe Biden says. So I'm not against any people group. That'd be like people being against white guys with long hair and beards just because, somebody did them wrong. And it's unfair to categorize everybody in one. Oh, yeah, it's the Jews. It's the Jews' fault. It's the Germans' fault. It's the Americans' fault. Do you realize how many people that live in third world countries that we bomb the crap out of, that look at us like we're the Nazi SS? That is how bad, that is how bad things can get. That is how convoluted people can get in their minds to think you are personally their enemy because the elites, our military industrial complex dropped 2,200 bombs on them last month in Afghanistan. Spends $100 billion, not million, guys, $100 billion every single, is it year or month? I don't know, but that's a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money that goes to bombing the crap out of Afghanistan and keeping things straight so that we can protect the narco dollar, so we can keep those poppy fields blooming, so we can keep having the pharmaceutical companies nice and stocked so that we can pretend here at home that we're against the opioid crisis when the CIA is the one they initiated it and they're throwing gas on it. It's like we got some gasoline there, Mosey. Hey, we got a fire over there. Hey, let's take care of the opioid crisis. Whew, there's this huge fire. Oh my God, we got an opioid crisis. We got to do something about fentanyl and we got to do something about opium. And they're the ones who are bringing it, man. I like what Joe Rogan said one time. He said, the only way marijuana is going to hurt you is if a 50-pound bag of it falls from a CIA airplane. These guys, man, this is Hegelian dialectic stuff, guys. I know I'm probably getting off on a rabbit trail, but man, these things are just coming hot and heavy in my mind. The Hegelian dialectic is problem, reaction, solution. And that's how you maintain control. That's how do you think you can control 300 freaking million people? You create a problem, you expect a fear-based reaction because it's gonna come. Oh my gosh, we're being bombed. We're being bombed. Here, sign this bill right here. Patriot Act, we're being bombed. We have to take care of it, or our democracy will be threatened. You got to sign right here. Here, sign right here. Boom. TSA, $9 billion a year. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't board that aircraft until we radiate and molest you. It's the radiation and molestation practices of the TSA, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security, which came about because of the problem, reaction, solution, the Hegelian dialectic of 9/11. And that makes all the slaves on the plantation think they're nice and safe and comfy and warm because the TSA wouldn't dare let bombs or guns come onto our departing flights, right? Would they? Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really, guys, sending super chats, like I'm blown away. I am blown away. I'll get back to the TSA in a second, but like you guys who support me on Patreon and PayPal and buy my shirts, guys, it is super, super humbling. And so Anna, thank you so much for that $5. But anyway, TSA and the Department of Homeland Security is nothing but security theater. That's why I created a shirt called TSA, Department of Homeland Security, Security Theater. That's all it is. It's to give you the impression that we're from the government and we're here to help you. We're here to help keep you safe because I'm from the government. I like what Reagan said. Reagan was just a tyrant and just rang up the national debt like crazy and comes out he's a racist and all that kind of stuff. But I like what he said. Well, the 9 most dangerous words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That's true. Those are probably 9 of the most, if you put them all together in one sentence, the most dangerous words in the English language. I'm from the government because I'm here to help. Because you can bet your bottom dollar that they are not going to help you. They're going to make your life miserable. They're going to take more money out of your pockets. You're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to work longer hours for less money so that you can shovel boatloads of what you earned into the coffers of the military industrial complex, the IRS, and the Federal Reserve as they debase the currency, which is another part of taxation because that's what inflation is. It's the hidden tax. And so you have this store of wealth, and that's what this represents right here. You work to get this $20 bill. And so all your time and laboring energies, thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate that for the super chat. Um, you invest your time and laboring energies. Think about it, time away from your family and the energy that you produce from your own body, and then a third party comes along and goes, "Oh, thank you, I'll take that. I didn't earn it, but I'm going to take it from you." So the foundation of all government, and I'll get back to the TSA in a second, but the foundation of all government is the initiation of unjust force on peaceful people who just want to earn a living and put food on the table and have a roof over their heads. Thanks a lot, Eric Spencer. I really appreciate it, man. Um, I guys, I just like when I see super chats, I'm just so blown away. Um, so back to the TSA, it's security theater. Even CNN, MSLSD, and Fox News reported that 95, there's something called a red team test, okay? And I've done a couple of videos on this and I've showed you the exact news reports. Red team tests are federal agents go through the TSA airport carrying real guns and explosives and trying to get them past TSA, the security checkpoint that's supposed to keep you safe. Doggone it. Doggone it. We're here to keep you safe. And that's exactly what we're doing. No, it's not. So they're there to keep you safe. The red team tests, the government officials come in and sneak guns and literal explosives onto the departing flights. And do you know what the failure rate has been in recorded history for TSA? 95% failure rate. That means they're only successful 5% of the time. $9 billion a year it costs. United States taxpayers, we're working hard so that you can provide us with security theater. 95% of guns and explosives make their way onto departing flights. So back to the Hegelian dialectic. Problem? Oh gosh, we got 9/11 or whatever it is. Pearl Harbor. Hey, it's the new Pearl Harbor. Watch this. Hey, hold my beer. Watch this. We're going to explode 2 buildings and everybody's going to lick our boots and beg us to have the Department of Homeland Security to keep them safe. They're going to beg us to increase the coffers of the military industrial complex so that we can go to a foreign land and blow up a whole bunch of people in the name of democracy, dang it. It's in the name of democracy. We're the United States. We are the world's police force. And we're taking care of business and we're using your tax dollars to do it. That would not be possible, guys. The Department of Homeland Security, TSA, FBI, DEA, CIA. Somebody just did a super chat, and that is RB. Thank you, RB. I will buy some merch from you soon. Thank you for trying your best to help everyone. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. So you got all these alphabet soup agencies that are there. They only exist, guys. This bureaucratic sinkhole of money-sucking parasitic slime takes the product of your time and your laboring energies, which you store in this, and they suck it away from you for things that are gonna keep you safe. Because guys, that's all it's about. And every politician gets up there with good intentions. But what did Daniel Webster say? I love reading people from of old, like Andrew Jackson, Daniel Webster, and all these guys. Good intentions will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority. It's not too strong to say that the Constitution was created to guard the people against the dangers of good intentions. There are people in all ages who mean to govern well, but they mean to govern. They promise to be good masters, but they mean to be your masters. These people want to master you. They want to control you, and they use techniques like the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution to do it. So they create the problem. They wait for the fear-based reaction because the people go, oh my God. I mean, have you ever watched the 9/11 videos? Every one of them, people are screaming, and every one of them says, oh my God, oh my God. And then emotion just floods their mind. Reason goes out of their mind. Emotion, they just get filled with emotion, and they are prime candidates for going to the government going, can you help us and keep us safe and keep this from ever happening again? So they're seized. It's like they're barbecue. The government officials are like barbecuers. They're just tenderizing the steak. They're waiting for it to get good and done. They're setting it all up, and then they slap it on the grill and they fry us. They fry us with the TSA. They fry us with the Department of Homeland Security. I want to keep short accounts on the super chats, guys, because I do not know how to scroll back up. God, Andy gave $100. RDC, man, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was RDC and Don, 20 bucks. Thank you for the super chat. Don, that's Don Coral. Shout out to Artie and Don. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So it's all pretend, man. It's imaginary. So when you have Laura Ingraham on here saying, have Democrats turned into the anti-police party? Well, one would hope so. And then this guy goes, yeah, they're trying to appeal to the 18 to 24 demographic. These people who are anti-establishment. Like, that's bad? Anti-government. Yeah, you're anti-government. What a joker. You're anti-government? What the hell going on? You must be a Democrat or some checked out liberal lunatic or something. You remember Ernest from the Purity Dairy commercials? This was back in Tennessee. Maybe you guys don't remember. Hey, what you doing, Bern? Hey, Purity is the best thing. It's almost like they think we're just absolute lame brain dead idiots. And Fox, CNN, I don't care if it's Fox. Fox is out to lunch. They are in the back pocket of the Zionist international banking cartel. What do you mean Ilhan Omar is criticizing Israel? She must be anti-Semitic. Well, guess what, guys? I can say Ilhan Omar is out to lunch. She wants your guns. She wants to take away your freedom. She wants to increase Islam and cause Sharia law to come on this earth and just sweep us all away with their authoritarian garbage. But what she said about Israel, as light as it is just absolutely correct. If you're for boycott, divestment, and sanctions of Israel, you're on the right side of history, guys. Israel controls the House. Israel controls the Senate. Israel controls who's behind the desk at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and it's not even a mystery. If you want to see what's really going on with Israel and Zionism, the two channels that I would point you to is Adam Green's No More News. This guy is no nonsense, guys. Just check it out. I'll leave, as soon as this video uploads, I'll leave a link to Adam's channel and Really Graceful's channel. They pinpoint exactly what Zionism is, what the objective of Zionism is. And Netanyahu relies heavily on the Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution. And you are evil if you criticize Israel. Guess what? You're not evil if you criticize Israel. You're being irrational, thinking human being who doesn't want to be pigeonholed into a Democrat or Republican box. I call them Demoplicans and Republicrats because there's no difference. They're two wings of the same bird of prey. And some people could go, well, yeah, if Hillary was president, things would be way worse. You almost picture people talking like that when they do this keyboard warrior stuff with you. It's like they've been sucking on the bottle. It's like, yeah, but if Hillary, I like Trump for the fact that if Hillary Clinton was president, we would already be embroiled in a war with North Korea. We would already be in another war with the Middle East. And all of these things that would come along with Hillary, they wish she would have already taken our guns. And they have no idea and no basic understanding of the fact that no matter which political puppet gets slid onto the hand, the Zionist banking international cartel, Amschel Rothschilds, I don't care who makes the laws, as long as I get to print the money, baby. They don't get it. It's very easy. And the thing that keeps us all in mental bondage is MSLSD, the Communist News Network, Fox News, CBS, always broadcasting crap. All these people are keeping us in bondage because they're distracting, deceiving, and dividing us. And if we would all just come together on one thing, I demand an accounting for this. I want sound money, because if I have sound, honest money, then you can't have a dishonest currency Ponzi scheme funding wars. And you can't have a dishonest currency Ponzi scheme creating stupid things like the war on drugs. Guess what? It's not a war on drugs. It's a war on people. It's a war on people. You're not against a bag of marijuana or a satchel of cocaine. You're against people. You're not imprisoning cocaine and LSD. You're imprisoning real people who just want to do whatever they want to do with their own bodies. I had a super chat, and let me get this super chat, guys. I know I'm just it infuriates me. It infuriates me when people almost willingly look past the obvious, look past the facts. They're tripping over the truth, smashing it down with their heel, and they're licking the boots of liars. It gets to me. Hiram Bifidum, thanks for the super chat. If someone flies a drone over a police station, they should be charged with a crime. However, if a cop demands you shut off a camera, they should be charged with obstructing justice. If someone flies a drone over a police station, are you saying that they should be charged? What crime have you committed if you flew a drone over a police station? I'm not understanding. However, if a cop demands you shut off a camera, they should be charged with obstruction of justice. If a cop demands you shut off a camera, well, if the cop demands see, my whole thing is this: is there a violation of the non-aggression principle? If you fly a drone over a police station, you haven't violated the non-aggression principle. You haven't put anybody's life in jeopardy. You haven't threatened harm or harmed anybody. You haven't left a victim. So the only activity that should be stopped by another human being and legitimately stopped is the act of aggression against the act of unwarranted, unwelcomed aggression or coercion or theft on another individual. That's the only action that should trigger a righteous action. Let's face it, if you're sitting in your house at night and you and your kids are, working on a homeschool project or something, and somebody busts in your door, you have every right to use, and I would, and you would too, because you're normal people. And I'm not saying this because I'm Superman or anything. I would go ballistic. Anybody who goes through the threshold of my door unwelcomed, it can kiss their life goodbye, or I kiss my life goodbye, but nobody's coming in on my family like that. So that's an act of aggression. So flying over a drone over a police station, maybe I'm misunderstanding you, and maybe you're trying to make another point in this, but you haven't committed a crime if you're flying a drone, and the cop hasn't committed a crime if he demands that you shut off your camera. Now, if he makes you shut off your camera, now he's transgressed the non-aggression principle. Now he's transgressed the golden rule. He's done to someone else what he wouldn't want done to himself. So for me, it's stopping crime. There actually has to be a crime. And see, that's the problem with law enforcement and government, is they define their own terms. You have not committed a crime if you've jaywalked. Breaking, we got to get this mindset, guys. To commit a crime, you have to leave a victim. If there is no victim, there is no crime. So there is no reason for force and violence to come on a person who hasn't left a victim. It's very, very simple. But we live in this day and age where we have lawmakers, and if you break the law, then you're a criminal. And if you don't pay the fine that we tell you to pay, then we're going to kidnap you and steal your stuff. See, it's statism, it's authoritarianism. It's this idea that we hire this group of people and give them the right to harass us, kill us, cage us, and steal our stuff so that they can protect us from people who harass us, kidnap us, and steal our stuff. It's lunacy. It's utter lunacy. To be a believer in government qualifies you as being insane. There's something mental wrong with saying that man can murder that person, that man can detain that person, that man can kidnap that person, that man can pull that person over because he went 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit because he's wearing a uniform, a badge, and a gun. What magic is that? What that's fantasy. That's storybook. Okay, little kids, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was this guy and they called him a policeman, and he wore a special suit that gave special powers and it bestowed upon him special rights and special authorities so that he could do things to people that, well, frankly, you can't do, little Johnny. So get it out of your head. Unless you become one of these special people with this special costume and this special badge and the special gun and the special authority of the state, you can't commit the crimes that these people commit. Because, guys, let's face it, if you did the exact same actions, and you can ask anybody this, if you did the exact same actions as law enforcers do, as government officials do, you would rightly be called a criminal, and you would rightly be physically apprehended by anybody in society. There's no special power to apprehend somebody. If somebody's breaking into my neighbor's house, guess what? And I see it and I'm privy to it, I'm going to try to stop them because I don't want my neighbor broken into. And I would think that my neighbor would do the same thing for me. We would just kind of watch each other around here. That's what being a good neighbor is. It's part of being a good neighbor. It's not like when you move into the neighborhood, you're going to fill out. And I promise, if I ever see anybody break into your house, I will do my best to stop them. It's not contractual. It's just kind of what human beings do for each other. And you kind of expect that because that's how humans interact, right? Humans who actually care about each other. Somebody left a super chat and I want to deal with it. Drone Wolf Media. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Drone Wolf Media. Check out his channel. He's got some really cool drone footage. Thanks for the super chat, Drone Wolf. And Hiram Biffam. And if you're recording police officers, then you are preemptively gaining evidence to defend yourself if they bear false witness against you. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I agree with that. Matter of fact, one of the most powerful things you can do is have a video camera. And who doesn't? If you have a cell phone, you have a better video camera than they did back in the early 2000s. You know, even before video cameras got installed onto phones, but say in the 1990s, if I had this thing right here, people got video cameras, they got audio recording devices. One of the best things you can do if you see one of your fellow, and I'm not going to say citizens, because I'm leaning more toward the mind of, if you call yourself a citizen, basically you're admitting you're a part of the corporate entity known as the United States, because in Title 28, Section 300215A, it says the United States means federal corporation. It's a corporation, and you are not a corporate entity. You're not a corporate employee. You're not a corporate. You don't get kickbacks from the corporation. You're not an entity of the corporation. So I wouldn't call you a citizen. You're my fellow human freaking being, and that's why I hate against this. That's why I hate this. This thing about racism. Guys, there's one race. Why are we getting involved in color? The yellow man, the black man, the brown man, the white man. Why are we getting involved in this? Because they want us to get involved in it, us to be involved in it. Mainstream media and the government want you to be involved and dig down into the mire of racism. Oh my God, it's that white cop against that black man, and it happens time and time again. There must be something racial going on here. Yeah, in the Act of 1871. Thanks for the super chat, I Rockwell 1138. I appreciate it. Let me grab some water here. Let me ask you guys. I shy away from doing these live streams primarily because, and I think I've said this before, I do not want to waste anybody's time. If you feel like, know your straw man. I just saw that. That was good. If you feel like what I'm saying is, slightly valuable or beneficial, give me a thumbs up if you want me to do more live streams. I haven't done a live stream in, I don't know how long it's been, a month or 2 months, but I shy away from them because I want to maximize our time together, and I want to utilize every minute that you invest in watching my videos with something that's valuable. Nothing, no fluff, no muss, no fuss. I just want to. The way I see it is, we're all in this boat together. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Okay, so you want me to do more? Gosh, I mean, like, everything in me says, dude, you got nothing valuable to say. You know how there's that human struggle. You know what I mean? But I just want to be. I don't know. It's almost like when people say, yeah, I just want to be real. They're they're like setting you up for telling you they're not being real. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply into it, but I want to offer value to you, my fellow human beings. I definitely get value from you guys. Don't think that I don't. I read as many comments as I can from you guys, and you guys make me laugh and you make me think. You've corrected me on things. I think it's awesome. This human experience where we're all in the same boat together and we all have our oars in the water. I kind of picture it like this metaphor. We all have our oars in the water and we're all just doing the best we can. And if somebody gets sick or something, then you kind of pick up the pace. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you encourage that person, hey man, as soon as you get well, just, stick your oar back in the water and let's keep doing this thing. Because life is this upstream continual battle, man. And we have so many negative things against us. You got the mainstream media, you got the government, you got, maybe people in your life who's being negative and they're trying to bring you back into this left versus right paradigm. And it's more than that. It's bigger than the left versus right paradigm. And we all have layers of cognitive dissonance that we're constantly trying to peel back because we've all been, to one extent or another, indoctrinated. That's what public school is. It's a 12-year, 15,000-hour government indoctrination program. And if you went to public school, I finished all 12 years. I'm a product of public schools. Life is hard enough. And then you have to deal with the indoctrination that you've been instilled with as a kid. I mean, in your formative years, they were withholding information from you, telling you outright lies, talking to you, painting the picture of a world that really isn't true. So that's why I'm against public schools, and that's why I determined whenever I had any kids, they are not going to spend 1 minute in public school. So I decided to homeschool because I don't want them to have that added struggle, that added unnecessary struggle of having to peel back the layers and undo all the years, the hours, the weeks, the months, the years of indoctrination into this mindset. So, and if you guys are like new parents or whatever, I would encourage you to strongly take a look at. Don't even think for a second that you're not qualified. You're the most qualified person on this planet to lead your kid in the path of righteousness, intellect. Teach them the basics. Teach them how to be good readers and comprehenders, and to question everything. So that's the thing. That's the thing in public school. Minus maybe a couple of bright spots of maybe rogue instructors, rogue teachers who actually taught you to think outside the box. Minus that, because there's always, somebody's always going to be in the belly of the beast trying to make things better from the inside. But minus that, generally speaking, they are teaching you not to be a critical thinker. They are teaching you not to question authority. They are teaching you to look at the world like, well, that's just the way it is, and that's just the way it's always going to be. That's how the world is. That's how the world works. That's how people are. Government is good. Don't question the government. They're here for our benefit. They got to spread democracy. And yeah, while the wars may be horrendous, those are just things that you have to secure your democracy. But they never tell you that democracy is, like Benjamin Franklin described, as 2 wolves and 1 lamb deciding on what to have for dinner. Who to have for dinner. Because the wolves are going to go, hey, why don't we vote to have Mr. Lamb for dinner? And then there's no recourse unless you're a well-armed lamb. Then I'll sit at that table with the 2 wolves. So they don't teach you to look at life with critical spectacles. It's like when you get out of college or high school, college too, but you have these pro-government, don't question authority spectacles on, where you're just easy pickings for the DNC or the GOP. And that's why we get into this. That's why 1913 came about. We were asleep at the wheel. We weren't holding public officials accountable. And they let the Morgan Banking Trust and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers go to Jekyll Island, supposedly a secret meeting, although I'm sure a lot of other people were in on it. And they hammer out the Federal Reserve Act. And they implement the Federal Reserve Act in 1913. In 1914, we have World War I. In 1918, we have World War II. In the 1950s, we have the Korean War. In 1941, we have Pearl Harbor. And we just feel it. And then in the 1960s, we got the Vietnam War. And pretty soon, people across the ocean, like Charles de Gaulle from France, are going, what the hell is going on here? How can they fund the Vietnam War? Do you realize how much that probably cost? And Nixon closes the gold window on August 15th, 1971, and he says, "Oh, we're gonna defend the dollar against the speculators. I've ordered Secretary Connolly to temporarily suspend the convertibility of gold into dollars. Temporary? It's been like 47 or 48 years temporary, and we're still not gold backed. So Charles de Gaulle is sitting over there across the ocean going, okay, guys, load up the boat with all this worthless fiat currency and get our gold back here pronto. And actually, that's when the gold window got closed because Nixon and all the bankers freaked out and goes, all right, we need to stop the convertibility of fiat into gold because de Gaulle already got his stuff and he took a hike. If all the other nations look at what Charles de Gaulle did in France, they're probably going to come and recall their gold. And we can't have them find out that we don't have any gold left because we gave it to the Rothschilds so that we could fund our freaking war that cost 58,000 American lives and 1.5 million other lives, and then beefed up the military industrial complex. And it's all this convoluted hocus pocus, and the public school system is in on it, and the banking system is in on it, and government is in on it because they're government. It's all about mind control. Got to control the minds. If you can control the minds, you can control the population. And then all you have to do is, if you've never read the book Propaganda by Edward Bernays, or what's the other book? I was going to send out, I'm in the next 24 hours. By the way, if you're not a part of my email list, I'm going to send out an ebook it's free, totally free. I'm giving everything away in my newsletter thing. But it's an ebook you guys are really going to want to get your hands on and put in your ebook library. It's a fascinating read. But the book that I'm thinking of is manufacturing consent. It's how social engineers get in there and manufacture your mind. And pretty soon you could be on a street corner talking to people about freedom in California or New York or New Mexico or Oklahoma or Wisconsin, and they're all saying the same things, and none of them have any arguments to back them up. There's no basis. There's no base of logic from which they're jumping. It's just, hey, this is the way things are. You're a Democrat or a Republican. There's only two parties. You only got really two choices. Stop smoking crack. Okay, why am I smoking? Why am I smoking crack? All right. Let me hear from you. Let me read some. What do you want me to talk about? I don't want to just ramble on. Let's get some people involved here. Mass shooting in El Paso. Did that just happen? Somebody said crackhead. Yeah, I'm a crack. Yeah, I've never smoked crack in my life, but yeah, I'm a crackhead because who says so? This person says so. I'm not even going to say your name. That's crazy. But I love the free market. You can say whatever you want to say and be as stupid as you want to be, and I'm not going to stop you. Hey, thanks for the super chat. No Pa Pika. Thank you for changing my mind. Hi from Vegas. Hey, I really appreciate you saying that. It's not so much, every single one of us, and this is so cool. I love gardening, by the way. I need to start my garden again. But it's like if you plant a watermelon seed and you take care of it, you're going to get a watermelon. If you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. We all reap what we sow, and we're really, if you look at yourself, I try to look at life in just like very simple terms. We're all just casting seeds. Some will germinate and some will grow and some won't, and you basically reap what you sow. If you sow bad things in your life and you're bad to people, it'll come back to you in a bad way. You may not recognize it when it comes. It may take 10, 15, 20 years before it comes back to you, but you reap what you sow. If you sow evil, don't expect to reap good. That's why I'm against government, because it is literally people saying, I have a higher claim over your life and property than you, and I have every right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. And guys, I don't subscribe to that. That's just not true. If you can convince me it's true, I'll take a look at it, but I don't have a right to grab you by the lapel and take $20 from you. Let's say you have $100. Hey, I'm only going to take 10% from you. Are you okay with that? You are? Okay. Doing something to somebody without their consent is not something any sane person would want done to them. That's why the golden rule. I love the golden rule. It's just simple. Do to others what you would want others to do to you. Conversely, don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. There's another super chat that was way down here. And because I'm a lame brain and don't know how to just see where the super chats are, maybe somebody can tell me. I'll do it. Okay, RB says, you're indisputably funnier and more intelligent than Owen Benjamin. I don't know about that. That guy looks smart. His bears would be lucky to upgrade to your channel. Man, I appreciate I really appreciate that. I would actually like to talk to Owen Benjamin sometime. I know he's against anarchist philosophy specifically. I saw him put out like a video where he challenged Stefan Molyneux to answer some anarchist question. I don't remember exactly how it went, so I don't want to slaughter it. But yeah, I would be open to talking to him. What I think is refreshing about the free market is you can learn a lot because if you just let the free market be free, you've got this whole pool of knowledge. And that's why I hate censorship too, because in censoring the bad stuff, we want to protect you from pornography. We want to protect you from child porn. And then they use that as the veil of, okay, now we also are going to stick our hand and stick our nose into the business of we want to control how much you're on the internet, what you can see, what you can spend your money on, what you can say. Oh, I'm sorry, we disagree with that. Oh, you're against the police? Well, yeah, we don't allow that on our platform. So it's like I would rather have dangerous freedom and keep everything out in the open, even the bad stuff, because then you can deal with it. Because if you start censoring things, you drive things deeper underground. Things start festering in people's minds. They get more. They don't have a free market outlet, so it gets bottled up inside of them, and things get worse and worse and worse, and society just starts degrading. Because if you look at the word censorship, there's another word for censorship. It's called control. Who's got the ring of power and who wants to control what you say and what you do and where you go and what you can read? Are we against child pornography and the exploitation of children? Yes, of course. But let that stuff out so we can nab the child pornographers. Don't stuff it underground. Am I saying that we shouldn't make it illegal? Yeah, I kind of am. You know why? Because no man can make something legal or illegal. We all recognize it's immoral. It's like making a law saying, hey, you know what? Get your politicians together. We need to get them to make a law that says, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's a crime to kill people. Guess what? That would be a redundant law. We already know it's a crime to kill innocent people. Oh, how about this one? I'm using this because I don't have another piece of paper. Let's write a law that says it's illegal to rape people. Yeah, we already know that because it violates the non-aggression principle. Killing people and raping people violates the non-aggression principle. Actually, you know what? There should only be one law. There is only really one law in the realm of human interaction. You know what it is? Guess what it is? What's the one law? What's the one law that governs all the other laws? What is it? You guys know? What's that one? You don't. It doesn't have to be written down. It doesn't even have to be spoken. Yeah, it's the golden rule: do to others what you. That's the umbrella of this one law. But yeah. Do not steal. That is the one law that's kind of the only thing under the umbrella of the golden rule. Do to others what you would want done to you. Because you think about it, killing is stealing a life that is not yours. You have no business taking the life of another person. How about raping? Yeah, you have no right to take somebody against their will in a sexual manner. It's taking. So, and that's what government is. They're always taking. They promise to give you things, but the government can't give you something they haven't first taken, i.e., stolen from somebody else. They can't give you universal health care. They can't create universal health care out of nothing. Where's that come from? How are we going to take care of all these people? Isn't that going to cost money? Well, it's not going to cost me money because I'm government, but I am going to take from Joe and Susie and Bobby and Alice. I'm going to take money from them so that I can give to all these other people. It's the redistribution of wealth. That's why normal moral human beings are against socialism. Socialism is evil because it's built on the foundation of stealing. It's built on the foundation of theft. Same with communism. Same with any other ism out there, except for capitalism, because if you really boil capitalism down, capitalism is, I'm a thirsty man. Actually, I'm a thirsty man. Oh, wait a second. It's like this. I'm a thirsty man and I don't have water, but I do have $20. Hey, I'm a poor man with some water. I'd like that $20. Oh yeah? Well, I'd like that bottle of water. Here's your $20 and here's my bottle of water. That is capitalism. There's no force, there's no coercion, there's no theft. There's just mutual interaction between two consenting parties. I have something you want, you have something I want. It's like when you go to the store and you want to buy a lighter. How much is that lighter? 50 cents? Hey, I have 50 cents. And I'd rather have that lighter than my 50 cents. Oh, that's funny. I'd rather have that 50 cents than my lighter. That is capitalism. Now, when you get to what we're seeing today is not capitalism, it's corporatism. And it's the foundation of corporatism is easy, unsound, dishonest fiat currency. Thank you, Zionist international banking cartel. It's how we fund the wars. It's how we have the drug war. It's how we can drop the bombs, beef up the military industrial complex, and do all manner of injustices in this life. That's why on the debate stage, at the Democratic debate stage, you will never see a Democrat going, okay, Anderson Cooper, Rachel Maddow, that the only thing we need to be concerning ourselves with is not racism. It's not providing free health care. It's not eradicating student loan debt. It's not about the Green New Deal. We need to do something about this. That is what nobody is going to talk about. Why? Because they, for the most part, are on the payroll of this corporate entity, Title 28, Section 3002, 15A. The United States means federal corporation. Every one of those, including Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, Klobuchar, Trump, they're on the payroll of the corporate entity. And if you have any question about that, just watch their actions. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard is so good. She's against wars. Good. It's good to be against wars. But if you looked at Tulsi Gabbard's website, she wants to take your firearms from you. She's for assault weapons bans. She's for closing the gun show loophole. She's for taking your guns, creating legislation that puts layer upon layer upon layer and just suffocates you with more laws. Yeah, AOC's on the corporate payroll. God, they're all on the corporate payroll. The United States, guys, means federal corporation. This is more than a country. America is a country with Americans. The United States is a federal corporation. And the belly of the beast is Washington's district of criminals. You know, that 10 square mile of cesspool on the eastern side of the United States that should be completely eradicated. You want to build a wall? Build a voluntarist funded wall, the highest wall you can build around Washington, D.C., and make sure the criminals stay there and die. You know, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that part because I'm going to get censored by YouTube. But the biggest threat to America is this thing right here. The biggest threat to China is this right here. The biggest threat to Russia is this right here. The biggest threat to the Middle East is this right here. This right here is what's caused all this bloodshed all these years, and nobody's talking about it. Huh? Dollar? What dollar? No, I'd rather talk about universal health care. Dollar? No, what dollar? Let's implement the $93 trillion Green New Deal. I don't know what you're talking about a dollar. John Fabrizio. That's a cool name. Why do you feel the need to instruct your viewers to like, share, and subscribe every video? We aren't idiots and we know how to use the platform, but you're concerned about wasting our time. John, I remind people because I have to deal with YouTube. I just talked to a YouTuber last night, American Joe Show, by the way, and they're starting to put up on your screen when you go to people's channels, would you like to unsubscribe? I get unsubscribed every single day to the tune of, I don't know, 50 or 100 subscribers. I haven't really put my finger on it. You can go to my social blade and check it out. But views are valved down and reminders are good. If you took offense to that, thanks for the super chat. But if you took offense to me taking 5 seconds or 10 seconds saying, hey, share this video and subscribe. If you took offense at me reminding you, I don't know what to do. Maybe check your snowflake card at the door. I don't know. It sounds pretty snowflakey to me to be offended about that. But Brand, and if you take it as me treating you as a kid, it looks like you're a little sensitive to me. I don't know. Right on, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid brother. That's Brandon Kind. Thanks for the super chat, man. By the way, I'm not trying to slam you, John Fabrizio, but I guess you just have to take my word for it. I'm not trying to treat you as a kid. If you took it that way, you're taking it the wrong way. Hiram Bifidum, anything done to finagle or modify a firearm for full auto is already illegal. Therefore, any politician trying to ban bump stocks is posturing. Yeah, 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 they are. But I mean, we also have to deal with this idea of legality and illegality, because things that are called illegal are not necessarily, and almost every time aren't, immoral. And things that are more are called legal are a lot of times immoral. For example, it's legal for a police officer to pull you over and give you $150 to $250 speeding ticket for going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. That's immoral. It's legal, but it's immoral. It used to be illegal to free and give aid to slaves. That used to be illegal. Something like one of the most moral things you could possibly do is help a human being escape the total tyranny of another human being. From the government's perspective, that used to be an illegal activity, but it was absolutely moral. Talk about a righteous thing to do, is to free somebody from the chains of their captors. So, and prohibition, it was illegal to have alcohol. That's neither moral nor immoral. But you got these people sitting behind a desk writing these stupid laws all day, telling other people what to do and thinking that they have the authority to do it. That's the problem with. So when I hear people say it's already illegal, I just say no, it isn't. It's not. It's illegal in the minds of people. Whatever you want to think illegality is, modifying a firearm. How can that be? Because think about it. If people believe something is illegal, they automatically, by default, believe that it's immoral. And if they do that illegal action, then it's perfectly justifiable or justified for an agent of the state to encroach on that person's freedom and either fine them, take them, basically extortion, stealing their money, or kidnapping and throwing them into a cage. So that which they call illegal, they're actually calling immoral. You've sinned against the state if you do something illegal, and we just can't have that. We can't have a whole bunch of people out here doing things that are illegal, because then other people are going to do it. Like Wesley Snipes. Oh my God, he wanted to keep 100% of everything that he earned. You know what he is? He's a damn tax evader, and we need to kidnap that boy and throw him into a prison. Now, I'm not a Wesley Snipes fan by any means, but Wesley Snipes is an individual, just like all of us are individuals, and we'd like to keep 100% of the time that we spend away from our families to earn. Is that too much to ask? So it's illegal to withhold your money from the IRS. It's illegal to be a tax evader. You can't be a tax. You cannot. What kind of criminal wants to keep 100% of what they earn? That's the dim-wittery, the foolishness of the government mindset. He wants to keep 100% of what he earns. Damn him. Damn him all to hell, and throw that boy's ass into a cage and take 100% of his freedom, and then conduct that civil asset forfeiture, man. We are taking you down because you wanted to keep everything that you work for. Who committed the evil act there? The people who said that the tax evader did something illegal. So thanks for the super chat there, Hiram. All right, I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want to go too long here. All right, let's wrap it up in the next 5 minutes. Anybody getting you want to talk about? Hey, Tom. Hi, Miss Coco. Tony Jenkins. Ignore folks use all caps. CNN is going after the guns big time. Yeah, man. Man, it's such a concerted effort. And when you have eyes open, and it really doesn't take much to open your eyes. It's really just, okay, who out there is not following the golden rule? Oh, CNN is not following the golden rule because they're just, nobody wants to be, Do you want to wake up in the morning and go, God, I can't wait till somebody deceives me today. I can't wait till somebody lies to me today, and I sure can't wait for somebody to take my money today. I sure hope somebody. I hope I become a victim of armed robbery and theft and murder and mass deception. Nobody wants that, but CNN that's their MO. That's Fox News's MO, guys. That's MSLSD. That's what they're there for. These teleprompter script reading corporate parasites are there to distract, deceive, and divide us. And frankly, I mean, we got to call it out. That's part of being free. Have you looked into the Earth being flat yet, Brian? It's flat and stationary. Gosh, should I even get into that in the last 4 minutes of this? Who wants me? Oh, thumbs up if you want me to give you my take on the flat Earth. Fox News is not as bad as you know what? Fox News to me, Stephen Jones, Fox News is not as bad as CNN. I know why you say that, because they do speak a lot of truth. You know, they do call out a lot of things, but you can tell they're embroiled in cognitive dissonance, just like CNN is. You can tell that they've totally taken the side and have blinders on. A lot of these commentators on Trump, it's like Trump didn't do wrong. Trump didn't do wrong. And on CNN side, no, not only did Hillary not do wrong, we're the biggest supporters of her campaign. In a lot of ways, the things that are more deceptive, and to me, Fox News is more deceptive because, conservatism, let's just face it. I'm going to put myself out there saying this. Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives are all under the same umbrella of authoritarianism or statism. So I see it as the same potent cancer. Okay. So I'm not saying that they're not both two wings of the same bird of prey. They are. And if you can prove that they're not, I want to hear the argument. Okay. Because you have to come at me with objectivity, not your thoughts, not how it makes you feel, not how much truth they speak. Get to the bottom line, look under the hood. Yeah, that Ferrari may look good, but I'm more concerned with what's under the hood. What makes this baby tick? My dog hates worming medicine. Okay, the dog that I used to have, it was a Malinois. Awesome. If you guys can ever own a Malinois, I had to get rid of her because I moved into a subdivision. First of all, you got to have plenty of land and plenty of patience. These are super smart dogs. Anyway, my Malinois, when I wormed her, no dog I've ever had likes worming medicine. So you got to wrap it with something tasty, like a tasty treat, like cheese or bologna or some kind of treat, peanut butter, something they like. So you wrap this pill, you wrap this worming medicine, and then you give it to the dog. No problem, sucks it right down. And that's the way I see Fox News, is they look really good from the outside, but when you look under the hood, they are just as destructive. I'm not going to say more destructive because they're all in the same plane, but they're all trying to slip you in that pill of poison. And to me, the most dangerous ones are the ones that look more solid. Like, for example, this chair right here. Okay, you got this chair right here, and it looks like it can hold your weight, right? And if it was missing a leg and it was obvious that chair wasn't missing a leg, you wouldn't even try to sit in it. But if the chair, if somebody sawed off one of the legs and then just kind of super glued it on just a little bit, to where it looked like it was a stable chair and it could hold your weight, well, you would sit in it because you believe that it can support your weight. That's the way I see Fox News is, oh, hey, they're telling the truth. They have a whole lot of truth. This is great. And you let your guard down. You sit into the chair. Oh, this is great. You lean back and you just fall over. The way I see CNN is, CNN to me looks like a chair with three legs. It's obvious. They even come out and say, Chris Cuomo says, we're the biggest supporters of the Hillary Clinton campaign. You got Ashley Banfield and Nancy Grace speaking in the same parking lot, but saying they're thousands of miles away from each other. They don't even have to lie, and they lie. You've got John Gurkovic, the CNN cameraman, who comes up and goes, "Yeah, we need to get rid of the Electoral College," and they're doing this mock interview, pretending like John Gurkovic is just this guy on the street that we just randomly chose to do an interview on. So CNN to me is that chair with three legs that you wouldn't dare sit down in because you can look at it and it's obvious. Hey, Communist News Network, Counterfeit News Network, very obvious. But to a lot of people, they give Fox a pass and say, well, Fox isn't as bad. Well, actually, they're worse because you let your guard down when you think there's more truth involved. You think they're right. Hey, this is great. Like when you watch me, you should not let your guard down. When you watch anybody, I don't care if it's, name a YouTuber who's in the alt media space. Don't let your guard down on these people, because they could just be an error on something, or they could be intentionally propagating something. But the point is, you're responsible for what you allow into your eye gates and your ear gates, and what you let seep into your mind and down into your heart. This is a game. This is not a game. Life is not a game. It's something where you have to constantly be on the ready. You have to constantly have that, just that wherewithal to know that there are people out there that really, really want to take you down. They really, really want to slide you into the Republican box. They really, really want to fit you into that Democratic mold. And they really, really want you to believe Fox News is a legitimate, authoritative news source. Guys, Fox News is considered by Alphabet Inc., which owns Google, which owns YouTube, as an authoritative news source. That should, like, let's say there's a mass shooting. Somebody said there's a mass shooting today in El Paso. Let's type in mass shooting in El Paso. What's going to come up? CNN, ABC, Fox News, all the authoritative news sources. You and I won't come up if we were right there on the scene, filming what exactly happened and showing all the truth as it plays out. They wouldn't put us on the top, even if we had more views, even if there was more demand. They're not going to float us to the top. And somebody asked me, why are you always reminding us to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know? Because you have to constantly resist the censorship that's going on with YouTube. Hey, let's see. Let me just deal with a couple more, and we'll vamoozle here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on Saturday. DD, I really thank you so much for the super chat. I'm just going to wrap it up here. I know I said 5 minutes and we've gone way over. Oh, yeah. Thumbs up about flat Earth. You guys want me to? DD, another one. Just had a gun to my head last night. My drunk stepdad threatened my life. I got a protective order. He's in the wind with stolen gun. Maybe you mean something else than wind. What should I do? Take off? I have Marlin 3030. Hold on, let me plug my phone in here. Shoot. It says my battery's low. Gosh, I hope this doesn't disconnect. Okay, good. I'm plugged in. Okay, just had a gun to my head last night. My drunk stepdad threatened my life. I got a protective order. Don't trust protective orders. It's a piece of paper, and if somebody wants to harm you, they don't care about protective orders. He's in the wind with stolen gun. What should I do? If you're saying he's in the wind like he's free, you have a Marlin 3030. Geez, let's see. I can't tell you what to do. What would I do? I wouldn't leave. Change the locks on the door. I just I don't know. I'm not somebody that flees that kind of stuff. Like if somebody puts a gun to your head and doesn't pull the trigger. I like if somebody did that to me. I've actually had that done to me before, and it didn't end well for that person. Like they always say, if you point a gun at somebody, you better be ready to use it. And I can't give advice on that, man. I can only tell you what I would do in that situation. I wouldn't be going anywhere. Stand your ground. People keep saying the thing about El Paso is a false flag. I'll have to check that out. I'm not aware of what's going on in El Paso. And you know what about this false flag stuff? People come out against me sometimes for not labeling something as a false flag. Look, if I don't know it for sure, I'm not going to say it. But in a sense, it doesn't matter actually if it's a false flag or not. What really matters is what's the fallout from it. And you can bet probably 100% of the time, mainstream media is going to jump on it. Politicians are going to jump on this as an opportunity to say, see, we need to take guns out of the hands of evil people and protect protect American citizens. And it's all a dog and pony show. It really doesn't matter the events that led up to said scenario, and in the sense of what comes of it, it really doesn't matter if it was a false flag or a real event, or if anybody died, or if law enforcement was involved. It's like, what is this going to bring about? Are they just going to hold that person accountable for their own actions? Or are they going to expand this out to, okay, now, Brian, we got to take your guns. You got an AR-15, you got an assault style, you got an assault style black military AR-15, boy. Well, guess what? It's ours now. You better turn it in. And then they do gun confiscation. It's just a bunch of BS, smokescreen. Okay, let's get back to the flat Earth. You guys want me to even? Gosh, that's gonna just be a whole new. I think that's a whole new can of worms. Let me just do it. Let me just do a dedicated video on the flat Earth thing. Okay, I'm not really. I've already been going for an hour and 10 minutes on this. We went over an hour on the last one. Maybe we can do, yeah, maybe we can do a Q&A. Although, one of the reasons it's almost scattered, and I want to see, people are going, no, flat Earth is BS, flat Earth. If you think let me just say this about flat Earth. If you think the Earth is flat, or if you think the Earth is a globe, why don't we just, because I know there's such heated disagreements, guys. There's such heated disagreements on this. And I'm not looking to, I'll tell you this. I don't know if it's flat. And I don't know if, I've been taught all my life that it's round. I've never viewed the Earth from space. I know people go, well, space is a figment of your imagination. Space is a made up concept. What are you saying space for? Space doesn't even exist. I've seen the videos where this rocket goes up 73,000 or 76,000 feet, and it's fitted with GoPros, and it's leaving Earth, or on the direction of leaving Earth, and then somehow, and it's spinning. I don't know if you guys have seen the video. Maybe I'll put this on a video and just kind of talk about it and see what you guys think about it. But it makes this sound, and then it stops. It stops rotating. It just stops, almost like it got stuck in something. Now, I don't know if that was CGI'd or what, but people say, well, it hit a dome. It hit the firmament. It hit the water over the Earth. I honestly don't know. I haven't conducted my own experiments. What I'd like to do is like acquire a Nikon P900 or whatever that thing is and do my own. It seems like the only way you could find out if the water, if there's curvature to the Earth or if it's straight, is to go to the water, which always seeks level. So what I would like to do is maybe a couple of us can caravan to an ocean or something, or between a landmass where exactly what the distance is. Go out on a boat 7 miles. There's supposed to be some kind of, I don't remember what the drop rate is for every mile. Maybe you can guys can tell me. But if you can just set up a camera maybe 3 feet above, and then have a boat go out. And I know the History Channel did this. Yeah, History Channel. It's all just dog and pony stuff. I would want to see for myself. So let me answer the flat Earth by saying I'm ignorant on a lot of that. I'm definitely open to listening to arguments, but one thing that I won't do is I won't separate myself or cause some sort of division because one of my fellow human beings believes the Earth is a certain shape, and I'm not, I'm not on board with it at that time. Who knows where I'll be next week or next month? Life is a journey. We all acquire knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And some people can go, well, you're just being a chicken shit, man. Pull the trigger, make a decision. I'm just not there where I can make a decision right now on that. And I'm definitely not there where I'm going to separate with my fellow human beings because they believe the Earth is a certain shape and I believe it's something else, or don't believe something at all. Moon landing is fake. Moon landing looks as fake as crap to me, guys. You're gonna tell me with 1960s technology, and then they admit you got NASA admitting that we can't make it through the Van Allen radiation belts, and that we've somehow lost the technology. Oh yeah, one of the greatest achievements that man has ever accomplished is getting these people to the moon, 226,000 miles or whatever it's supposed to be from the Earth, and you lost the technology. Give me a break. They're floating in a tinfoil wrapped aluminum can, and they came back without radiation. Yeah, to me, NASA is spending $52.5 million of tax money a day. I don't buy the moon landing, guys. Um, as for, I'm ignorant of a lot of that stuff. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a scientist. I see what people say. I try to weigh it. And I don't even know if Van Allen radiation, but you don't know that Van Allen radiation belts exist. I don't know if any of that exists. I see a moon in the sky, but a lot of people say that's a projection. I can't buy that that's a projection, guys. I mean, I see it. I've done time lapse photography on it where it's going across and it's going across, and then you got the moon phases and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we can maybe we can. I'm highly ignorant on a lot of this stuff, but I know what I don't believe. I don't believe the moon landing is real. The government tells me it's real. NASA tells me it's real. Public school tells me it's real. I'm kind of inclined to question that. So, guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in and spending their time on a Saturday. I didn't. If you want me to continue doing these live streams, maybe once a week or twice a week, put some thumbs up in there. I tend to listen to what you guys have to say because I don't want to bore you. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm telling you, I'm like a butter knife. I ain't like a steak knife. I don't have serrated edges or anything like that. I'm just kind of a country boy making my way through life, trying to figure things out as we go. But I know one thing, we're all in the same boat together, and hopefully we all have our oars in the water, and I got your six. And if you want to get my six, that's okay too. That's cool. All right. So thumbs up. I see some thumbs up. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. I'll start doing live streams. How often do you think I should do them? I'll just give another minute or two. Should I do them once a week, twice a week? What are you guys thinking? Yeah, Freemasonry. That's another once a week, once daily. Oh my God, daily. Two a week, maybe once or twice a week. All right, guys, because it's cool hanging out with you, honestly. And next time I'll try to have some more ducks lined up in a row and we can just hit things super fast and we get some chats going. What I'd really like to do is get some audio chats where we can, where you see the YouTubers with their headphones and they got like six people across the bottom of the screen, you're all talking to each other. That would be super interesting to me. Whoa, did you hear that thunder? It's thundering and lightning in Oklahoma. Okay, guys, I love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Remember, make it a great day because great days don't happen on their own. Make it a great day, not only for yourselves, but also for everybody in your zone of influence. And I'll see you guys in the next super chat and in the next video. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it.